That's because we like his opinions.
Yeah.
Right? So it's confirmation bias.
That's where I want to go.
It's absolutely a confirmation bias.
It's almost like we're just saying, which road do we want to travel to your opinion? Right. Do we want to say, damn, you did this since Pee Wee, and then you were a Hall of Famer. I want to hear you say it. Yeah. Or, man, you went to school and studied all the techniques and know all the ins and outs and the craft. Oh, my God. And you're going to stay out the forest and just tell me about what trees are in there? Oh, that's amazing. Now, it sounds like we're just really picking between those two, and then who gives you the best presentation of it, because it's nothing else anymore.
That's all it is.
No.
It's who is presenting it in the fashion that you want to see it.
And for me, it's my favorites are not athletes, even though I prefer an athlete. It's weird because I don't have enough examples of the athlete doing it the way I love it.
Still early.
Yeah, but I like the journalists when they nail it. I think if there is a sweet spot, if there's a bullseye, if there's you nailed it. It's come from when the journalist has done it. I would say safely. In what way?
I said the journalist too.
I was just trying to see if I get you off the square.
But you was right. You was right.
I
was right too.
That's on the record.
Because I think there's. It's almost like there's a. Like Shannon Sharp is the perfect example. Yeah. Shannon could give you Shay, and then he could give you Shannon
with stats,
and it's like almost it's like clean up, like athletes, which athletes can clean up, but then journalists can't get dirty, and so I like it a little more polished than not.
I think he does it best. Like
Shannon?
if you didn't know he was a former pro athlete, superior athlete, you would look at him as just a journalist that is really good at what he does. Because everything is always backed by stats and just knowledge of the game.
Yeah, let me give you the information behind my opinion, then I'm gonna give you my opinion. Yeah. Right. And I got the nice graphic stats right here. I got the highlights right there for you to see. It's just like the whole package where a lot of the times when you see professional athletes that have platforms, they don't have the kind of the budget and the support that goes along with
like
it.
us.
You know what I'm saying? Or the knowledge.
Some of them don't have the knowledge.
Some don't have the knowledge. Some don't have the vocabulary. Some don't have the intellect.
Yes.
Some don't. But then the journalists, sometimes they just don't have the understanding, the wherewithal. Yeah. I just Colin Cowherd's probably. If I had to say I had to grab one guy out of this whole world, all of them forever, I'd be like. It'd probably be Colin. I'm trying to think around it.
Dan Patrick is up there.
Dan Patrick. But see, that's my point. To your point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's really good at it. Mike Greenberg.
Yeah, I like
Mike Greenberg and Colin Cowherd. Because there's something about Mike Greenberg that you trust.
Mike and Mike.
Yeah. So you trust to hear it.
He going to keep the train on the tracks.
Yeah.
He going to keep it moving in that fashion. The thing I don't like about journalists, because I said, I kind of made it like where I don't like about the athletes. What I don't like about the journalists is they can't take it. Like their ego, like once their opinion gets challenged, it's like, oh, you didn't go to school for this. And it's like, but I'm listening. And so then it's like they throw out way more fastballs than they can hit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dog, you got to take this shit too, because athletes are used to taking it.
Yeah.
So when we go back and forth, all of a sudden you Skip Bayless when he melts down, when Jalen Rose undressed him. Like, it's like, dog, it's your turn. Like 1 point, how many points you average? 1.6.
Water pistol.
Like everybody got a nickname, and now you get your nickname, and now you over there. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Right. Put your glasses back on.
But you can, yeah, and that whole thing. That's when I lost some love for the sports journalists because they realized that theatrics were necessary. And then they left their game plan, which was like Colin still does it to me. Like, just stick to the script, give me the stuff, sum up a great opinion, and I'll be like, damn, that's dope. Versus, I want to be the star. And I think Stephen A. wants to be the star, and then that kind of gets into his opinions, because you can just tell who he likes, who he doesn't like, what he wants, what he doesn't want. And that kind of throws it off for me. What you thinking, Trip? What you like? Which lane?
I would say it depends on the topic. Basically, hearing it from a player's point of view, I would like to hear it if it's dealing with the sports or whatever positions they're playing, not from a journalist that never played the game. I mean, he only knows so much what he's reading off stats, off paper. I mean, everything's good on paper, but I would always love to hear it from a player because they play the game.
What about a journalist? Like, being real, Narps are journalists. Like, you're from that pool, right? So Terry played basketball. Just Blaze played basketball. You played baseball, football, all that. Like, imagine somebody just said, you didn't play the game. I don't want to hear it. And that's what you just said about journalists, what you just said about yourself.
Right.
Because you ran track, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want to hear Tripp talk about track. Really?
I would feel away. Yeah, I would, but
yeah, that's what you just said. You don't want to hear them do it because they didn't play.
I did. But,
so which one is it?
I'm gonna stick to my facts because I would love to hear from, like I said, the player's point of view. They're out there sacrificing their bodies. They're out there on the field. They're doing what the coaches or these analysts aren't doing. All they're doing is reporting what they already did.
Well, how much do you think that I learned from football as a pro versus somebody who played only college or high school? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been out coached. I just lost our championship on Saturday to a high school player at Sierra Canyon. He was their coach. Now, I didn't have my best player. I didn't have my son. But your elite player. But the point is, right. I'm like, the boy knows some football. He was calling some good plays. You know what I mean? I had to, oh, man, we got to change this defense up, et cetera. So, like, how much do you think, how much do you guys presume that I learned that you didn't learn because I just went pro? You know? Because it sounds like you're giving this much more credit because I kept doing the same thing longer, which is the 10,000 hours.
You learned a lot more, like significantly more. Like, you woke up, like college, you got to go to class. True. You got to write papers.
True.
You know what I mean? You got to study for those tests. You know, in NFL, you wake up and you eat, sleep, and dream football. That's it, and play.
Playbook.
You know what I mean? That playbook, playbook y'all get is like the size of the stack of that books right there.
Yeah, that's real.
And if you don't know something in it, they call the play and you stunting the wrong way. They're looking at you like you got two heads. You know, the accountability is different. The expectation is different because they're giving real American dollars for that production.
Definitely.
So is there a pros for the journalists, or is just learn it and then exude it?
They're doing their job. I mean, to report.
I think a good analyst is a good analyst. Whether you played or you didn't play, if you studied the game, then you know the game. Like, you can break down film and do all of that. Me personally, when I listen to anything with like pros, I like to hear them talk about things that wasn't on the camera.
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you.
It's so crazy people still stuck in Pat Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.